Sometimes a woman goes silent. She speaks to no one, says nothing. But inside she is screaming. Even when someone calls her, she doesn't hear it. For hours she might not register anyone's presence. She looks around but sees nothing. Her mind is consumed by one thing only. She checks her messages repeatedly, maybe scrolling through old photos of him, staring at each one for minutes. She analyzes who liked his profile, who left a comment, how many times. Inside her, there's a wild urge to scream, to rebel against everything. But still she says nothing because she needs clarity. Yet she can't find it. And that haunting question rises again from the depths of her heart. Does he love me or not? Does this feel familiar to you? If your answer is yes, then it means you're still struggling with jealousy. And that makes this video for you. It's for the woman who is drowning in jealousy, but can't or won't admit it to anyone. In other words, it's for you. Jealousy. We often confuse it with love. We say, I'm jealous because I love you. But in truth, jealousy is not love. It's the poisoned, damaged, and exhausting version of love. They say jealousy is the measure of love. But in reality, jealousy is a sign of lack of self-love and feelings of worthlessness. For example, you're a woman, and every time your partner talks about another woman or spends time with her, you feel uneasy. That's not just jealousy, it's your confidence crumbling. You start wondering, am I not good enough? Is she more attractive? Smarter? Better? These thoughts eat away at your peace and make you feel unworthy. But all of these emotions come from fear and insecurity within you. Love is not measured by jealousy. Love is freedom and trust. In love, you feel relaxed and safe. You don't obsess over the other person, you love yourself too. Real love lifts you up. Jealousy keeps you stuck. Jealousy doesn't make you stronger. It opens a hole inside you. It creates chaos in your heart, clouds your thoughts, and steals your peace. It silences you from within and stops you from expressing yourself or living freely. It eats away at your confidence, slowly destroying your most precious asset, your self-belief. It convinces you that you are not worthy of love. If you constantly feel small, weak, or less than in the presence of others, know this. These are signs of doubt in yourself. I know it's hard to run away from these feelings. So hard, in fact, that you try to hide them or deny they exist. But doing that doesn't fix anything. It only makes it worse. You have to understand jealousy, trace it to its roots, and confront it. Maybe you think, that's easy to say from the outside, but I'm deeply connected to this person. If what I fear is true, my whole world could fall apart. And I get that. But let me tell you something. What you're feeling is true for this moment, right now, today. Whether your fears are right or wrong, the real issue is this. Can you find your way out of this pain? Can you find peace and think more clearly? That's where Stoic philosophy comes in to guide us. The Stoics taught one of life's most powerful truths. You can only control your own actions and reactions, not the choices or behaviors of others. This simple idea is the key to overcoming jealousy. It's natural to watch others and react to what they do, but their actions are not under your control. If you're always watching who your partner talks to, how he looks at someone, who he smiles at, you've already drifted away from your own life. And that's a dangerous road, because you're tying your energy, your thoughts, your emotions to someone else's choices. That's not freedom. It's the destruction of freedom. Jealousy chains you. Take your power back. The feeling of jealousy chains a person. You tie yourself to someone else's every step, every word, every glance. It's as if whatever your partner does, you're dependent on it. But the truth is, you are no longer the owner of your life. You're living in the shadow of someone else's. Stoic philosophers offered another way. Take back control. Focus on your inner world. Manage your own thoughts and behaviors. You cannot change another person, but you can change yourself. That is true power. Think about it. No matter who your partner spends time with, you cannot control their actions, but you can change your thoughts, your emotions, and your reactions. You can create peace and calm within yourself. That is true freedom. This is the most important lesson for overcoming jealousy. Because jealousy enslaves you, it weakens you. When you stop making yourself a prisoner of someone else's choices, you become free. And that feeling of freedom brings happiness, calm, and inner peace. It strengthens your self-confidence and makes you feel more valuable and empowered. You no longer have to carry the heavy weight of jealousy. I understand letting go of things you can't control and accepting them as they are can be incredibly difficult. But that very acceptance is your greatest freedom. It's a sign of your inner strength and wisdom. Jealousy transforms a woman deeply and invisibly. It starts to dim the bright, confident woman she once was, the woman who believed in herself, who lived with love and trust, who knew her own worth. When jealousy creeps in, that light begins to fade. In its place come doubts, anxiety, and a constant need to defend yourself. The woman starts fighting to prove her worthiness, constantly rethinking her actions and words. The peace inside is replaced with tension. The clarity is replaced with confusion. Let me share a secret. This is how Stoic philosophy views jealousy. If you build your life around trying to control whether someone is being loyal to you, it means you no longer see yourself as someone who is worthy of love. That is a heavy burden. And it's the biggest injustice you can do to yourself, because love starts with loving yourself. Jealousy is really a hidden sign of lacking self-confidence. It eats you from the inside, making you question your value. You wrestle with thoughts like, I'm not good enough, I'm not loved, or someone else might be better than me. These thoughts poison you and exhaust your spirit. You become your own worst enemy, and that is the most painful part of jealousy. But as a woman, you must know this: inside you is a great power, a strength that can overcome doubts and fears and restore your sense of worth. By rediscovering your self-confidence, you can step out of jealousy's shadow. Here's the key: love yourself, know your worth, and take control of your life. Jealousy is not the end of your story. It's just a signal that something in your life needs to change. So where does healing begin? It begins with recognizing your own value. Start by asking yourself, why am I feeling jealous? What is actually bothering me? These questions may seem simple, but they open a deep door. Because jealousy often doesn't come from what we see, but from hidden beliefs and feelings. Sometimes a glance, a message, or a social media post triggers a storm inside you, not because of what happened, but because it touches an old wound that has never truly healed. Be honest with yourself. Why does this make me so anxious? Why can't I fully trust this person? Is this feeling the shadow of a past betrayal? Or do I simply not feel attractive, interesting, or valuable enough? Jealousy is less about why did they do this, and more about why did this affect me so deeply. Do you see the difference? That's the critical insight. Because behind most jealousy lies insecurity. Maybe they're better than me. Fear of abandonment. What if they leave me? What if they replace me? Trauma from past relationships. It happened before. It'll happen again. As you answer these questions honestly, you'll realize that jealousy doesn't make you weak or bad. It just shows there's a wound inside you that hasn't healed yet, and you're trying to protect it. This isn't a shameful weakness. It's an emotion that deserves understanding and care. As you begin to have this silent dialogue with yourself, the voice of jealousy will grow quieter, because you won't be fighting it anymore. You'll be understanding it. And anything you understand, you can heal. One of the deepest roots of jealousy is comparing yourself to others. A body you see on Instagram, a relationship shared on social media, a small success in someone's life. You try to fill the void inside? You with these images, but it's like wearing clothes that are the wrong size. They'll never feel comfortable. Every person is walking a different path. Everyone has their own timing, lessons, pace, and struggles. Knowing how someone lives is not the same as being in their shoes. Comparison is like a fog that prevents you from focusing on your own life. To clear that fog, you need to shift your focus. Don't ask, what makes them better than me? Instead ask, how far have I come compared to who I was yesterday? True growth isn't about surpassing someone else. It's about being ahead of your past self. Your worth doesn't come from someone else's weaknesses or from being ahead of others. Your value is built from your inner peace, your recognition of your own strength, and your ongoing personal development. If today you are a little calmer, a little more aware, and a little closer to yourself, then you're already successful. But the voice of jealousy doesn't want you to hear that truth. Instead, it wants you to focus on other people's lives. But you must not fall for that, because someone who focuses on their own path doesn't get distracted by others. And that person feels less jealousy and lives more fully. Saying, "I feel jealous," is not weakness. It's a strong and conscious step. The more you deny this emotion, the more it will eat you from the inside. Accept that it exists, but you are not its prisoner. Being able to control it means your decisions are guided not by emotions, but by reason. Jealousy will try to test your self-confidence. There will be moments when you look at someone else's success and feel small. But remember, everyone's life journey is different. Someone else's win does not diminish your worth. If jealousy arises, learn from it. Why did it affect you so much? What do you want to change? Answering these questions honestly is the first step in your personal growth. True strength isn't in denying your feelings, but in recognizing them and responding wisely. Build inner confidence, start working on yourself. Learn a new skill. Start a hobby that interests you. Engage in physical activity. As you build an interesting and meaningful life for yourself, your need to escape into someone else's life will fade, because your own life will be enough for you. Real confidence doesn't come from praise or attention. It's born from quiet, consistent effort. The small acts of kindness you do for yourself every day will eventually make you stronger, more valuable, and more at peace. If jealousy arises within a relationship, share your concerns without criticism or blame. Honesty builds trust. Hiding things only strengthens jealousy. Expressing your feelings calmly and respectfully strengthens the relationship. Saying, "This is how I felt in that situation," is more meaningful and impactful than saying, "You did this." Remember, jealousy turns into poison the longer it's kept inside. But when it's expressed with patience and understanding, even this feeling can bring you closer to one another. The healthiest relationships aren't perfect. They're built on mutual understanding and openness. When you share your feelings, the other person is more likely to be honest and attentive too. Because trust isn't built in a day, it grows through open and sincere conversations. When dealing with jealousy, always try to observe it and let it go. Don't react immediately when jealousy shows up. Just feel it, but don't drown in it. It came, and it will go. Because jealousy is like a cloud. It can cover your sky, but it won't stay forever. And the most important thing is this: you are worthy of love. Your value is not measured by how someone else treats you. Jealousy often arises in the moments when we forget this truth, when we rely on others' attention, love, and validation to feel worthy. We create a void within. But true worth comes from within, from knowing yourself and accepting yourself as you are. So never forget your value, because you are unique and irreplaceable. Your feelings, your thoughts, your existence leave a mark on this world. Even if someone doesn't understand you, that doesn't make you any less valuable. Never forget this: you are enough. Excessive jealousy towards someone can make you forget that truth. So never allow it. Stay strong.